Oh, good morning and welcome to our course UCI 104 Data Manipulation and Analysis using Spreadsheets. I would like to take you through this course in using this online recorded video. So I want to suggest that you be keen. If you have a laptop with you, you can take it so that you practice as we continue together. Um, so today I'll be looking at basic arithmetics. In Microsoft Excel, you can be able to do basic calculations. And the basic calculations in this case, we have addition. In this case, you use a plus sign. For example, you can write is equal to 5 plus 5. And Excel, when you click enter, Excel will give you the answer 10. We have the subtraction function. We use a subtraction sign. We have a multiplication. We use that asterisk. And then we have the division. We use the slash. Now, let's look at how to write a formula, remind ourselves on how to write a formula. There are basic steps you follow when you want to write a formula that is workable in Microsoft Excel. Number one, you select the cell where the answer will appear. After that, you type the equal sign. You type the equal sign, and then second step, you type in the formula, and then you press enter or tap on enter if you're using a smartphone. And then you will be able to get your formula. Now, I want us to demonstrate this bit that we have just looked at so that we are up to speed with Microsoft Excel. Now, I will open my Excel. That is my Excel window. So I've said that you can do all the calculations of either addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So step one said you click where you want the answer to be. So I've clicked at that cell B2. Then you from the keyboard you click on the equal sign, and then the next step you type in the formula. So my formula, I want to do an addition. So let's say 5, and then type the plus sign, and then 5, and then you click. You should be able to get 10. So that is like a formula for 5 plus 5, you get 10. Let's say you want to do 10 plus, 10 minus 5. I want to do 10 minus 5. So um, the step that you do when you want to do 10 plus 5, just like the other, you go where you want to put the answer, put the equal sign, and then type 10 minus 5, then click or press enter. You should be able to get 5. Something on multiplication, also the same, is equal sign, 5 times 5. Then you click enter, you should be able to get 25. Let's do something on division. You can say 10 divided by 5. 10 divided by 5, click enter, you should be able to get 2. So basically, you can do almost any type of calculation, however complicated arithmetics it can be, you can be able to do. You can even do a calculation that involves brackets. For example, let me do a simple one that involves brackets. Like let's say, let's put a bracket and say 10, 10 times, let's say 5, and then divide by 5. You can do any other math. 10 times 5 divided by 5. When you click enter, it should be able to give you the answer. as you expect. So basics as a revision, that is the basic arithmetics that you can be able to do. So I want to go to what we call functions. I want to go to what's called functions and see what functions can do. So what is a function? A function is a predefined formula that performs calculations using specific values in a particular order. One of the key benefits of a function is that they can save you time, that you do not need to write the formula yourself. Now, to try to elaborate on this, is that let's say you want to write a very long formula to do addition of various cells. If the cells are 100, then you will have a lot of tasks to reference all the 100 cells. But if you have a function, you just need to select a range, put in the sum function, and then it will do the rest. So that is the main purpose of a function, is that it saves time. There are parts of a function which every function must have. You need to pay attention on this. Every function must begin with an equal sign. After the equal sign, we put in the name of the function. In this case, it could be either sum or average. After the function name, we have what we call the arguments. The arguments are put in a parenthesis, and then inside the parenthesis, that's when you put in a range of values, or you are separated by a colon, or put values separated by a comma that you want to, to maybe operate on using that kind of a function. So I want to demonstrate something here. Let's say these are our numbers that we have just typed. We have number 10, 5, 25, 2, 10. Let's say we want to add to sum these functions, these numbers using a certain function. Now, what are the procedure? What is the procedure of inserting a function, or what is the procedure of dealing with a function? There are several ways. You can, if you remember the formula, you can just type the formula, the function yourself, or you can go to what we call the formula tab. When you go to your Microsoft Excel, there is a tab here called formulas. When you type there, it gives you a range of functions. Like here we have the recently used functions. These are common. This is like square root. This is a sum. This is average. This is called if function. This is a conditional statement. This is what we call hyperlink. There is count. There is max. There is sign, sum if, and then there's a permutation function. We have other functions called financial. We shall look at them. But let me maybe go through the functions, and then we shall do a demo to see. So these are some of the categories of functions as I've shown you. We have the financial functions. These ones functions that are basically used by the people in the finance. We have the mathematical and trigonometric functions. We have statistical functions. We have what we call lookup and reference functions. We have database functions. We have text. We have logical functions. We have information functions. And we have engineering functions. Now, depending with your discipline or your course, if you are in the finance department or you are in the course taking finance related course, then you may major in this area. If you are maybe doing a lot of mathematics, you may major here, under statistics here. If you are a database designer, you may use there. If you are an engineer, you may be majoring on engineering formulas. Now, some of the common functions that we may be using, like in this course today, which I want to maybe take you through. These are some of the common functions. This is like the sum function. We have the average. Sum function will add a range of values or a range of cells or certain cells separated maybe by a comma. So we shall discuss on the two ways of doing that. And then we have what we call the average function. This one will find the average of either a range of values or values that have been indicated, separated by a comma. Then we have function called count. This one will count um, all cells with maybe numbers that are not null. Then there is a function called min. This function would return a minimum value from a range of values that has been provided. Max will return a maximum value from a range of values provided. And then there is this function called concatenate. Concatenate will join two cells together. We join two cells together. And then if function is a function that will be doing conditional statements. For example, you want to do something if a certain value maybe is greater than if a certain value maybe is greater than 10, maybe you want it to do something else. For example, this one can be used in high schools for grading purposes. Let's say if a value is greater than 80, you want it to give it a grade like A plane. So you use conditional statements. Now, practically speaking, all these functions can be found in Excel. Like if you go to Excel here and you go to a tab called formulas, you can find all these formulas lined up here. We have financial, like I can see these are very many. We can't exhaust them. These are so many functions, so many of them, we may not be able to exhaust them. So you need to be a person in this field, then you will understand and do more of this. We have what we call logical functions, and false, if, not, true, whatever. All these ones are called logical functions. We have what we call text functions. These are functions that are used to find information about text. Like this one, you need to find the length of the text. Um, this one is a date and time functions. Maybe you want to find the current date containing year, month, and day. You need to just run that function and then it will give you. You need to know the current day, number for the current day. You need to know maybe hour. You need to know minute. All these ones, you can be able to get them here. We have others called lookup. These ones are also used, when you want to search something in a row. We have mathematics and trigonometric functions. You want to do things like the cosine, things like the tangent, um, all those basic functions. This you want to find the LCM of a number. You want to find the logarithms and all that. Those are functions that you can be able to use. And we have many, many other functions. Like I said, we have statistical functions here. You can do a lot of statistics, standard deviations. You can do engineering. There is information. You want to find information maybe about the sheets. So many of them. So depending with your area of expertise, you need to do some specializations. But for the purpose of this course, I want to take you through these basic functions so that once you understand this, you can be able to generalize. The procedure is the same. You can be able to understand these others, and then you can be able to apply the same knowledge you've learned here in using other functions. So thank you very much. When I come back, we shall be going through each of these functions step by step.